Welcome back to the Royal Alchemist extended demo. Yes, we're still in the save data. I'm recording ahead, so yeah. Let's see. I should have met the requirement, right? Syrian? Ah, now I can start it, I see. Was that there before? Strange rumors have reached the palace. Farmers residing in the outskirts of the capital were shutting themselves inside their houses during the day and not doing any work. They only ventured out past midnight, and reports of their activities suggest that they were suffering from advanced stages of hallucinatory delusions. Alright. When challenged, these farmers claim that they are looking for their most beautiful goddess. Welcome back, Jackson. Having no desire to countenance the outbreak of a cult, the regent dispatched Prince Saren and I with a company of palace guards to investigate the problem. Upon reaching one of the infected villages, we found it eerily silent. The streets were empty and the doors and windows of the houses locked, barred, and mothering in dust. Rarely we went up to one of the locked houses and knocked on the door, but the guard captain had to threaten to smash the door down before anyone inside would open it. The young farmer who opened the door seemed suspicious at first. After looking at me, okay, beauty 10 is enough for a farmer, I guess. He knelt down and began worshipping me. What? Sure. He claimed that I was an emissary of the goddess and that my outward beauty proclaimed the inward goddess of my heart. Alright. Although it was flattering in some way, I was seriously embarrassed. Common approval. Oh, nice. After examining several villages, I discovered they had consumed crops infected from a tiny but virulent mushroom that causes romantic hallucinations. There is actually a mushroom, but it's poisonous, that infects crops. Romantic hallucinations. Nice. Can I get these infected crops? I want to try them. I was fortunately able to find the ingredients needed to make the antidote potions in the vicinity. If the farmers remember to boil the antidote in the middle of their crop field, at least 3 hours every day next week, the mushroom infection should soon be eliminated. Prince Saren was so happy with our work today, he very gallantly led me by hand to sit next to him at the high table during supper this evening. Oh, alright. It caused quite a stir in the court. Foxtrack's weekly income has increased. New missions are available. A joy to see you, my dear Alexis. A smile tugs at the edge of my mouth, and I turn around with an elaboratory formal bow. Good morning, Your Highness. Let me do the honors of skipping straight to my point of inquiry. Have you any plans for the afternoon? As the royal tutor, I was under the impression I am obliged to conduct some royal tutoring. Amo, amas, amat, and all that, eh? All very fascinating. I love. They love? I loved? My Latin is quite rusty, so I'm not sure. I am glad you think so. Rather, I had the idea you thought the opposite, judging by the considerable difficulty I have in keeping you awake during our lessons. Nazir, the very least, has the grace to look sheepish, but not for very long. I say, you don't believe you deserve to have a teensy break from all the tutoring and whatnot? What do you mean? I, for one, am planning to go for a stroll around the kingdom this very afternoon, and the next one as well, and perhaps the one after that. And so, the point, I wonder if there's any way I can persuade you into tagging along. If I'm not mistaken, you are due for a lesson with me here in this castle this afternoon, and the next one as well. Perhaps the one after that. Oh, lessons, castles, afternoons. I'm just about stuffed to the top of the tallest towers with them. Why live in a cage? There's a beautiful world outside these walls of stone. The palace can hardly be called a cage, Your Highness. More like the lap of luxury, perhaps. Even a gilded cage is still a cage, my dear, and I am absolutely determined to break out of mine this afternoon. Can I not convince you to do the same? You haven't seen much of Eskia aside from the palace, have you? I pause and think. It's true that I haven't really had a chance to see much of the country, being busy with adjusting to court life and the tutoring sessions, and despite my better judgment, my curiosity keeps nagging me to go out and see more. Nazir's grin turns mischievous, knowing very well that I've taken the bait. Let me show you around. The meadows around Speller are covered in blue blossoms, both snow white and cornflower blue, beneath the azure summer sky. Sure. And the Speller village itself may be small and quaint, but is no less ancient, no less hallowed in the memory of Eskia than this very palace and its tavern, where the mead is sweet and delicious. The Med, right? And its maidens, so pretty and friendly and, above all, discreet. Nazir's eyes gleam in delight as I see right through his intentions and fanciful words. So, are you not tempted? Take the chance to slip out of your cage too. Just for this afternoon, of course. What harm could it possibly do? Well, let's save. Yes. Return and accept. Against my better judgment, I am inclined to take you up on your offer. Splendid. You will not regret this. Not soon, anyways. I'm already beginning to have doubts about my hasty decision. Before I can gather my thoughts, Nazir has seized my hand and is taking me along the hallway towards his room. Just give me a minute or two to pack my things and we'll be on our merry way. I thought of a little passageway not far from here that leads to a small, unused postern gate that we can most definitely use to slip away from the palace through. No one needs to know how we've left, or when, or why. No one, you say? Turning a corner, Nazir skids to a halt before Raphael, who is suddenly looming in front of us, arms folded and frowning. Raphael, my dear chap, fancy seeing you here. You sound as if my being here is to your detriment, Your Highness. No, not at all. Your appearances simply took me by surprise. And my friend here too, eh? My mind races as I attempt to hide behind Nazir out of sheer embarrassment. Just what was I thinking? Getting caught slacking off at the royal tutor? Dare I ask what the two of you were planning on doing with that little passageway through the small, unused postern gate not far from your room? We were discussing the state of security of the palace. Nazir was just telling me how assassins could make use of these overlooked passages to slip past our defenses and wreak havoc inside. Right, Your Highness? Quite right, my dear. Just the thing we were discussing. An admirable motive. Raphael says in a tone of grudging respect, and my lips purse. In that case, I shall note your concern and assign guards to patrol the postern gate as soon as personnel become available. I promise you, no one will be able to slip in or out of that gate without half the palace knowing. I'll be damned. I mean, if anyone even tries, I thoroughly approve. Prince Nazir gives Raphael a look of approval and confident thumbs to his chest. If I have set your minds to rest, might you two be so good as to return to your duties, such as being tutored, and in your case, glances at me and raises an eyebrow ever so slightly. Tutoring. Certainly, I reply, much abashed. No, wait. Oh dear. I just remember that I left an item of considerable value by the postern. Would your highness be so good as to allow his servant to retrieve it? I'm afraid I cannot. That item is deeply sentimental to me, you see, and I would loathe if anyone else were to look upon it. I take it you... I'll be right back. Quick as a breeze, he slips past Raphael, disappearing rapidly up the stairs in the direction of his room. Good day, your highness. Raphael sighs and turns to me. You shouldn't be influenced so easily when finding yourself in a new place. Jackson, shh. Sorry, it's just, well, Nazir? Yes, he has that effect on some people. With a face of great understanding from years of experience, he smiles and pats my shoulder consolingly. Back to Amos, and all that, eh? Yes, all very fascinating stuff. Feeling more chastised than I would like, I hurry back to my study to prepare for this afternoon's lessons. My face burns bright and fiery crimson, thinking back on what had just transpired. Alexis can now take classes to raise charisma. Grimoire characters updated, Nazir and Raphael. Alright, good. That took quite some time, actually. Missions? Do we have new ones? Yes. 15... What? Was it? Seren? 15 Nazir. 15 really is. Okay, let's see what they offer us. Seren, like literally no wood at all. Nazir. No, you needed wind, right? Wind. Really is water. Water. So what do we have here? Let's go for a bit of beauty. Etiquette. Start. 75 coins. Good. This morning I am walking along the hallway on my way to class when... this is the worst way to start the day. The servant is cursing out loudly as he's moving several buckets of water up the stairs to the kitchen, I assume. Do those nobles really taste the difference in the water, or why do we have to do this? He must be transporting fresh spring water. I have heard of some aristocrats who only accept the finest of water to be used for their meals. I didn't know those existed in Eskia too. Maybe we can cleanse and enhance fountain water to have the same taste as spring water. That surely would make the life of the servants easier. It would be good for the princess to learn alchemy through practical use as well. Alexis can create alchemy items together with the princess. Having the right item at the right time may help you increase the approval of different factions or get yourself out of a pinch. New missions are available. A shame about that fop, Nazir. Fop? Is he referring to Prince Nazir? And is he calling Prince Nazir by his given name? Although Nazir does let everyone call him by his given name. Absolutely useless, a waste of breath. Then why are we wasting breath on him? Saren, on the other hand. I find myself pressing behind an oversized marble vase, listening on the clearly private conversation between a group of aristocrats huddling inside the room opposite me. Well, they are loud enough for me to understand every single word without straining my ears. Who? Saren? He's sound, at least. He's polite, that's all you can say for him. Not a single original spark inside that hollow carton masquerading as a head. Is that a bad thing? Makes him easier to control. True. You're onto something there. What about that fellow Aurelius? That bastard, you mean? Oh, come on, Aurelius can be a little disagreeable, but it hardly warrants such an insult. He has as many original sparks as you can want and more. A rather strong personality. Very brainy. Let's all be absolutely honest here. He would make a strong king. Yes, and if we are all absolutely honest here, a strong monarch is the last thing any of us want. Aurelius? If we have Aurelius on the throne, we might as well hand over our estates to him and be done with it. Sure, maybe the regency isn't such a bad thing. Shame, it can't last forever. Well, call me an old-fangled traditionalist, but I prefer someone actually related to the king administering from the throne. You old-fangled traditionalist, you. The group breaks into raucous laughter that is grating to the ears. No, really, if you think about it, the Lord Regent's blood is as common as they come from the same sewer the late Queen's sprang from. From the same sewer? Disregarding their contempt for the prince's deceased mother, does that mean the Lord Regent was a relation of the Queen's rather than a king? Did the king not have any brothers? Or cousins even? Just what sort of inheritance law governs the succession of Eskia? A decent person though, the Queen. Yes, but common as mud. We can't have everything, my friends. Better a regent than a king. Better a king than anarchy. Is that what you call our days of liberty? Anarchy? Sometimes I wonder if it might not be better for us if our late lamented king had, well, not been born. He unified the realm, stripped our rights, changed our ancient laws and customs, and then just went and died on us. Frightfully irresponsible of him. Sometimes I wonder if it might not be better for us if we abolished the monarchy altogether. Just over 20 years ago we were free men, sovereign lords of our estates. Now we are subjects to the crown. Subjects to the crown, huh? Who's there? Whoops. It seems I accidentally voiced my thoughts aloud. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I was just passing by and couldn't help but overhear. Oh, it's Lady Rosenkreutz. You grace our unworthy self with your otherworldly presence. Please do not allow us to sully your august self a moment longer. We humbly crave your pardon to take our leaves. Sticking their noses straight in the air, the three aristocrats march away, sneering down at me from the corners of their eyes. What was that about? The Lord Regent is the Queen's brother, not the King's, and in the words of the second aristocrat, common as mud. The kingdom was unified less than a generation ago, and its current laws are barely older than I am, and the nobility is restive enough to be discussing revolt in open air. It seems I don't know nearly as much about Eskia as I would liked, and I have the nagging feeling I had the best start learning sooner rather than later. The question is, from whom? Among the people I've spoken with at any length, I can think of only two who were around at the time before the monarchy was established. Sala, the mysterious homunculus, and, of course, the Lord Regent himself. Who should I ask? I know I'm over-saving, I'm sorry, but this is an important choice after all. And I'm thinking of making it one for next week. But yeah, I'll discuss what I think would be best. I actually think it would be best to go for the Lord Regent, since Sala is a homunculus, so she has someone who created her. And we do not know who created her, so we do not know who her allegiance is to. So we can't really trust her. The Lord Regent actually wanted our help in, well, teaching the princes. So he might actually want to help us. So yeah, that's what I'll probably choose next week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.